Hello and welcome to Right Time Gaming. It is me, Right Time Kinderdine. I'm here with a bit of a Deck Tech Blitz format tonight. As some of you know, I am here in Auckland, New Zealand. We have been in lockdown 4 for 7 years. It feels like we're also in lockdown 3 over the last week. Does mean a few things have opened up, but stores haven't been able to do in-store play. So I was getting a little bit anxious to play some games. So I jumped into Fable Hobby's 8-week Throwback Blitz League. It started today. It is an 8-week event, 3 rounds each week, Blitz format, webcam based, which is a lot of fun. Also, the prizes are done by participation. So it means, you can play a few more fun decks and not have to worry about winning to get prizes because they're done by participation. So with that in mind, of course I was going to play Form of Brute, and I decided to play my absolute favorite deck in a Blitz format, and that is Kayo Berserker Runt. How good does he look in cold foil? I love him. Very cool. Got him safely in that case. If you don't know what Kayo does, he is a brute hero, young hero. Starts with 19 life, which is important for a couple of things that we'll get into. 4 hand size, and whenever you play an attack with a 6 base attack, you roll the d6. On a 1 to 4, you half its base attack rounded down. On a 5 or a 6, you double its base attack. So it's either swing big and go real big, or swing wildly and be less effective. But that is part of what's so exciting about playing at KO in this format. So let's have a look at the equipment I ran with. Of course, we are running with the Romping Club, which is very important in this deck. Claw's not as effective in this deck, and basically this costs 2, swings for 4, or if you've discarded a 6 cost, it's going to swing for 5, which is going to happen a lot in this deck. And it is quite good that in KO, if you get that go again, there's a fair amount of go again. Of course, we're also playing Scabskin Leathers, that you want to swing those 6 attacks, but if you do whiff, you coming in for 5 with the club afterwards, makes up for whiffing on the dice roll. Then, of course, as we said, we start at 19. So Arknight Skullcap, upside down, Arknight Skullcap, very important card. It gets the +1. So if you have less life than your opposing hero, Arknight Skullcap gains +1 and Arcane Barrier 3. It also has Battle Worn. So we get that extra defense out of Arknight Skullcap, which is very important going forward in this matchup. Next up, MVP equipment in this deck, I feel. Hardened Crosswrap. Thing about this format with this hero, you are not going deep into the game. If you are, you're behind. So 2 or 3 or 4 turns, this is just way more valuable than Tunic. Of course, the action is destroy Hardened Crosswrap. Your next attack action card costs 2 less, and we'll see why that's important later on. Gambler's Gloves. Of course, you run Gambler's Gloves in a deck that you roll a lot of dice. You roll for Scabskins, you roll for KO's ability. Whenever you roll a d6, you may destroy Gambler's Gloves. If you do, re-roll that dice roll. Super important, and won me a game today, which I'll tell you in the report later. Of course, if you are running a Brute, you are running Scabskin Leathers. It has Battle Worn 2, and once per action you can roll a d6. Gain action points equal to half that number rounded down. Super important. Again, works with Gambler's Gloves as well. Blocks 2, gets you extra actions. It's everything you need. Barkbone Strapping. Again, another Brute equipment that has Battle Worn for 1, and instant. Destroy Barkbone Strapping, roll a d6, gain that much resources halved, rounded down. Again, not quite as good as Barkbone Strapping because you may whiff on the dice roll, but that extra one is good against like Katsu and Ira players to stop a Kadachi and stop that chain for Mask of Momentum. So pretty much just in here for the ninja matchup, but it splits, so you see those ninjas a fair bit. Then, if you're coming up against a wizard, you run Skullhorn as your head equipment because it has Arcane Barrier 2. That's all you need to know about that card. Then, if you want to up your Arcane, you've also got the boots and the chest, and that's for the KO matchup. Sorry, not the Kano matchup. So close in names, but the wizard matchup, you want to have as much Nulrun as possible. And still, I often will still keep that Gambler's Gloves because it is important, and you can one shot a Kano player with this deck, so the dice are important. Now, Nulrun Hood. This is what you would play if you're against a Runeblade and you're just wanting to stop those niggly one-off rune chants and stuff like that. It means that you can keep your Scab Skins, you can keep your Gambler's Gloves, and you can keep your Cross Wrap. So that is the piece that we go against the Runeblade matchup. Alright, getting into the deck, which is the meat of it. We are starting with my favourite, well, not my favourite, but a key card from Monarch, Pulping Red. This is a 6 attack. It's got no defense, but it only costs 2 to swing. And it says draw a card and then randomly discard a card. If a card with 6 or more is discarded this way, Pulping gets Dominate, which is super important. Dominated for 12 is amazing. Dominated for 3, not so good. But one of the key points is while Pulping is defended by less than 2 non-equipment cards, it gains Go Again. So the nice thing about this is if you whiff and you're only coming in for 3 with Dominate, that you're either going to get Go Again or they have to waste a defense reaction to stop giving you Go Again, which you are happy to see them waste a defense reaction on that. So super good, and it can come in for 12. Usually gets you Go Again from the Dominate, which is super important. So we run 2 of those. Again, Go Again, very important in this deck. So we are running a Breakneck Battery. Again, costs 2 to play, 6 attack, 3 defense, and as an additional cost to play Breakneck Battery, discard a random card. If that card is a 6 attack, it gets Go Again. Very good. And again, if you're discarding a 6, it turns on the +1 for your Romping Club. Massacre, another great card here. If you have discarded a card with 6 this turn, Massacre itself gains +2 and Intimidate. If Massacre is discarded to pay the cost of a Brute attack, Intimidate 1. You don't have as much Intimidate in this deck as, say, a Reinhardt deck, but either way, good. 6, defense for 3. Super good at the end of a Blood Rush Bellows turn. Can come in and be very, very painful. Command and Conquer, just super good. Again, it costs 2, so it can be paid for with the cross strap. 6 attack, so KO's ability works on the attack cost, not the type of attack. So it will double up a Command and Conquer, or it will half a Command and Conquer, that's a little annoying. But Command and Conquer for 12 can be super backbreaking. So that is in there. Now here is partly Prism tech and partly tech for another card that we'll see later. But Savage Swing costs 1, which again, always great if you can pitch a blue and you can use this and then swing for the club afterwards. As additional cost to play Savage Swing, discard a random card. 7 base attack, 3 defense. Now 7 base attack is important in the Prism matchup against a Herald of Triumph, which gives you -1. So this will still crack it in the Phantasm because it will still be a 6 after the -1. Super important to remember that. So that is why we're playing that. On a similar vein, 7 attack, Smash with a Big Tree. My favourite card from Monarch. Love Smash with a Big Tree. Costs 2, so you can crack the cross strap. So you can basically block with a whole hand of 3. Then on your turn, you can crack the cross strap. Swing for 14 if you double it, or 3 if you don't. It's still super good. I love it. And again, super good against Prism. As is Red Wreck-It Romp. The other great thing about this, again, cost 2 to play. Additional cost to play Wreck-It Romp, you discard a random card. but base is 8. So that means even if you whiff, it's coming in for 4. If you hit though, coming in for 16, which can be absolutely backbreaking, as we saw in game 1 today, where I'll tell you about that when I go through my tournament report. So we're running 2 of those. Sneaky little red pummel. We only run 1 of these because you do want to really optimize hitting 6s with your randomly discarding effects. So you don't want to put too many non-6s in the deck, but 1 red pummel, just super good to catch people unawares. And of course, if you have whiffed and you're coming in for 3, a lot of times they will just underblock, and then you can hit them with the pummel, so they either have to waste the defense reaction, or if they don't have the defense reaction, they take the 4 damage and they lose a card from their hand. Super clutch. Blood Rush Bellows, the absolute best card in any Brute deck. Pitches yellow, costs 1. As an additional cost to play Blood Rush Bellows, discard a random card. All your Brute attacks gain +2 this turn. If the discarded card was 6 or more, draw 2 cards, and Blood Rush Bellow gets go again. This is so good. Pitch blue, pay this. You get to draw, discard a 6, get to draw 2 cards. At minimum, you can play whatever attack you got and then swing the club afterwards for 7, because you would have pitched a 6 to give +1 to the club. Yeah, just super good, and super good with so many cards in this deck. Art of War. Now, I know a lot of people love this card. I'm still on the fence with this card, but there's a lot of attack actions in this deck. It can be very good. To give go again, which is probably the main crux of having it in this deck, but you can also then banish attack to draw 2 more cards, or at a stretch give yourself +1/+1 to defend, or defend from your arsenal. So solid. This again, I love this card. Barraging Bighorn is pitch for yellow, cost 2. As an additional cost to play it, randomly discard a card. Doesn't have to be a 6 card though to get the ability. The ability is, while Barraging Bighorn is defended by less than 2 non-equipment cards, it has go again. So this is a great card if you whiff, because if you whiff and you're coming in for 3, if they don't block with 2 cards, you get go again, and so it makes for some really frustrating defense patterns from your opponent, or you get that free go again to swing with a club for 5, or possibly come in with another big attack and double that attack up. So it's great seeing your opponent's face when you whiff on this, and they're super happy, and then they realize they have to block with 2 non-equipment cards to stop you from getting go again on a 3 attack. Super funny. We run 2 of them. Super good. Beast Within. Wonderful card. If Beast Within is put into the graveyard from anywhere other than the combat chain, banish the top card of your deck, lose 1. If it is a 6 or more attack, it goes into your hand, otherwise you repeat the process. Again, we discard so much for our attacks. Super good. It replaces itself in the hand. Again, it's a 6. It blocks for 3. At a stretch, you can pitch it to pay for your club. Super good. Smash with a big tree. Again, just a 2 cost. 6. Double up or it halves, but can be played off just straight off the back of the hardened cross strap. So if you're defended with 3 and still have the hardened cross strap, you could still potentially swing for 12 the next turn off 1 card. Wreck-It Romp. Yellow, super good. Again, in the Prism matchup, it has that magical 7 number, which again means if it doubles up, it's 14. If it whiffs, it's only 3. But again, pitches yellow, blocks for 3, has that all-important more than 6 attack. Pulping. Now, Pulping Yellow. This is a great card if you can line it up with your Blood Rush Bellows turn. It means that you don't have to roll your Scabskin Leathers to get the extra attacks. It has base 5, so it doesn't get rolled on. So if you play it on a Blood Rush Bellows turn, it's just coming in for 7, and you're usually going to get Dominate and go again off it, which you can then swing the club for 7 afterwards on a Blood Rush Bellows turn. Super good. Love this card in KO. Again, Wreck-It Romp, blue. It's Wreck-It Romp. It's 6 attack. It blocks for 3, pitches for blue. It's great. Barraging Beatdown. The only Barraging Beatdown we play always good to get an Intimidate. And again, the +2 means that if you whiff, they have to choose to block with 2 cards to stop a three cost attack, or it'll be coming in for 5. Again, makes for some super interesting blocking decisions by your opponent. Pummel, again, very good. It's mainly in here for a blue pitch. Again, we're going to have Frostbite tokens and stuff like that coming up, so having that extra blue is important. Plus, just a sneaky pummel at the end of the game can win it for you. Super good. We run 2 of them. 1 Reckless Swing, best defense reaction in the game if you ask me, hands down. As additional cost to play Reckless Swing, discard a random card, and if that discarded card has 6 or more attack, deal 2 damage to the attacking hero. 1 games with this, solid, just super good. It is the best defense card, hands down. But we only run 1 of them because, again, we want to maximize the chance of hitting a 6 when we use it, or hitting a 6 on our other things. Energy Potion, really good if you're rolling your Scabskin Leathers and you have that extra resource point at the end of it, and not sure what you're going to do with it, or you don't have the discard, or you want to make sure that you don't hit this off a discard. You can just swing with the club and then put this out and have 2 resources just for later on in the game when you need them. Again, that magical number 2 resources means you can block fully with 3 cards, hold on to a Smash with a Big Tree or a Pulpine, and still be able to swing back. Super good. Now this is a nice little tech card. Rouse the Ancients. It is super fun because we do have the 7s and 8s in this deck, that you can quite often get this ability off. As an additional cost to play Rouse the Ancients, you reveal any number of attack action cards from your hand, which add up to 13 or more in total. If you do, Rouse the Ancients gets +7 and go again, which, again, super good. Again, mainly pitches for blue, but if you get it off, it's just super handy. This next card, it's a win big or feel bad card. Tear Limb from Limb. It costs to draw and then randomly discard a card. If the randomly discarded card has got 6 or more attack, your next brute attack action card you play this turn gains +X, where X is its base. So this doubles the base of the attack. So if you discard a 6, you then play a brute attack that has 6. The base of that brute attack then becomes 12. So if you roll KO, if you whiff on it, it's still going to be hitting for 6. But if you hit on it, it's coming in for 24, which is amazing. But again, the problem with this card is the draw and randomly discard. If you draw and randomly discard a card that isn't a 6, you get nothing. You've paid 2. It can be a feel bad. So first turn of the game, absolutely always go for this. Or mid to late game, often this is just going to be pitching for blue. But, when it's good, it's great. And here is a card that will help with a card like Tear Limb from Limb, but mainly for cards like Pulping and stuff. It is Memorial Ground, red, which means that you can put target attack action card with a cost of 2 or less on top of your deck from your graveyard. This means before you Pulping, or before you Tear Limb from Limb, you can guarantee the card that you are going to draw from the deck is a 6 attack, and it just helps your odds, especially if it's the only card you're going to be drawing and discarding, which is perfect to even those events out. So that's the deck. How did it go today? We had 3 rounds, and it was super fun. First round, let me just have a quick look at my notes. First round, I played against a Briar player. First turn of the game, I rolled not first turn of the game. My first turn, which was the second turn of the game, I rolled Scabskins. I didn't hit, so I rolled a 1. So I Arsenaled and passed. Then I followed up by my next turn. I hit Bloodrush Bellows into a yellow Pulping for 7, into a Romping Club for 7. Huge turn. He had to block with most of his cards. Did a little bit on the swing back. Then the following turn, I came in with Cracking My Heart in Cross Straps for a red Wreck-It Romp, discarding my last card in hand. Rolled the dice. I rolled a 6. He broke his Gambler's Gloves, which he'd put in for the matchup. I rolled a 1. I broke my Gambler's Gloves, hit a 5, doubled up, came in for 16, got rid of most of his hand from the block. He draws up. Next turn, I play a second red Wreck-It Romp. He has no gloves left. Neither do I. I roll a 5, come in for 16, and that is game. Super quick. That's what happens when the dice gods love you. It can be as quick as that. Next game, playing against Azalea. This was a little bit longer, but again, very similar. Blood Rush Bellows turn, rolling a 2 off. I started by rolling the Scab Skins. I rolled a 2, which only gave me 1 action. Luckily, I pitched blue to pay for the Blood Rush Bellow, discarding a 6, drawing into yellow pulping. And then so played yellow pulping, randomly, drew randomly discarded. It got a 6, got dominated. Then I was able to follow that up with a yellow smash with a big tree. Rolled it up, came in for 12 plus 2, which is 14. Again, basically putting them on 2. Followed up by drawing into a Reckless Swing. Absolutely, next turn he attacked. Hit him with a Reckless Swing, win the game. That is how Reckless Swing wins games. Perfect example of brute life. Last round, Reinhard. This was a tough matchup going against another brute. Always fun. It came down to my dice rolls weren't as good. I didn't get double up early. He came back with some big hits. He came back with a final turn, which was a barraging beatdown into an Alpha Rampage. Gets rid of 3 cards from my hand. All I've got left is 1 left blocking on my Scab Skins, and the 1 card he left me, which was a 3 block. All I could do was block for just enough to still take exact lethal, and that was game. And that's brute life. That's how it happens. Had my rolls doubled up better with KO, I may have taken that game out, but I am not unhappy with it. This was a super fun hobby league. Again, 2-1. That's great. And if you are looking for a fun blitz deck, especially if you're running in like a league like this, I would say play KO, because participation prizes. It doesn't matter if you win or lose, and this is literally the funnest deck to play. The highs are so high, the lows can be very low, but to quote Red Hot Chili Peppers, love is a roller coaster, and that is what it's like playing KO. So if you want a fun deck, I say try out KO Berserker Run. You won't be disappointed. Well, you may be disappointed with your dice, but you will have some fun for sure. And when those dice run hot, you will absolutely love it. Anyway, that's it from me. This is an 8-week league at Fabled Hobby. If you want, you can still get in on it. I believe it's $40 US for all 8 weeks. So there's still 7 weeks, so you can still get in it. Again, it is Blitz, it is webcam, so anyone can enter, and it's on demand, so you get 1 XP plus 1 XP. There's some cool prizes, some retro cold foils and stuff being given away. So yeah, jump on, check out Fabled Hobbies. I'll put a link in the description. We may see you and there. I will be playing a different hero each week, and I'll, again, as I said, because it is participation prizes, I'll probably be playing some more random, more fun decks, just to give them a bit of a go. I definitely want to look at playing Cavdeen at some point. If I can get my hands on a Shiana, I'd love to try that as well. But we'll see what happens, and I will probably do a rundown each week of what I played and how I went. If you want to join, as I said, check the link below. And as always, folks, stay safe and wash your damn hands.